Hey guys, Rika here, and today I bring you the ultimate guide on Karma boosters for Wintersday. If you look at the wiki, it will list everything that you can use for Karma boosts in the game, whether it be food, utilities, or effects, but a lot of people are unaware of which things they can stack and which they can't. This is why I decided to make a comprehensive guide for everyone who doesn't know how to maximize their Karma gains during Wintersday. The first section is going to concentrate on the plus 50% Karma boosters. First, we have the Karma boosters. The Extra Life does reward the Karma boosters if you buy the Extra Life bundle. Otherwise, you're going to need to get your hands on one of the Karma boosters that is available when you reach level 38 on a character. And of course, if you do a weekly or even monthly key farm, you should be selecting the Karma booster whenever you get that selection. Hopefully at some point ArenaNet will put the Karma boosters on the gem store outside of the Extra Life, but that is the only time that I've seen them on the gem store. The most important thing you need to know about these plus 50% boosters is that they don't stack. You have to choose one or the other. Thankfully, of course, there are multiple options. The second option here is the Communal Boost Bonfire. This one can be purchased from the Black Lion Chest Merchant for 7 Black Lion statuettes, which you get in drops from the Black Lion chests. The last item in the plus 50% boost category is the Candy Corn Gobbler. This one is available during Halloween on the gem store, and if you didn't get it this year, don't worry, it will be back next year. And what you do is you feed the Gobbler candy corn 3 at a time, and it gives you random boosts, which can include the plus 50% Karma. This item is more of a gamble. I do prefer the other options, but if you don't have access to the other options for some reason, it is something that's nice to have just in case. Next, we're going over banners. I've run into quite a few people who don't know how to obtain banners, or they know that they come from guilds, but they don't understand how they can obtain them. If you don't have a character who is a scribe, then your best option for the Heroes banner from the guild is going to be the Commendation Trader, which requires commendations from guild missions. If you don't have guild commendations, or you'd rather not spend them on banners, I would suggest that you level up a scribe and make Karma and Experience banners, because those are more than adequate for farming Karma during Wintersday. Something to note is that the Heroes banners and the Karma boost banners, both the Karma NXP and the regular Karma one, do not stack the Karma duration, so pick one or the other. Next is the Spirit banner. This one does stack with the Heroes banner or with the Karma boost banners, and you don't have to use guild commendations or anything through your guild in order to obtain these. Find the attendant at your closest Mystic Toilet and talk to her, and she will sell you one of these Spirit banners for 25 Spirit Shards. Unfortunately, if you don't have the 25 Spirit Shards, you're not going to be able to buy these, as this is the only option to obtain them. Do keep an eye out around Divinity's Reach, because people drop these pretty often, especially over the weekend. Now on to guild enhancements. Go into your guild hall and find the bartender, and he should be offering some enhancements that are basically permanent boons until you change them. The Karma boost from the bartender will be anywhere from 3 to 10% depending on how much your guild has leveled up. Thankfully, this is a permanent boost until you change it, so you don't have to keep coming back to refresh it. If you don't have the Lost Precipice guild hall, just open up the map and mouse over the NPCs until you find the one that says Guild Enhancements. The Ascended Amulet has a unique slot for a special kind of infusion. This section is dedicated to the Karmic Enrichment and how to easily obtain an Ascended Amulet so that you can place the infusion into your necklace and have the extra 15% boost. You can find the Laurel Vendor in any major city, Arborstone, and any of the Infinite Pass locations like Thousand Seas Pavilion. If you go into the second tab, which says Ascended Gear, you will see that there are some Ascended Amulets available with specific stats. If these stats don't fit your build, don't worry, I'm going to show you how to get Ascended Amulets with selectable stats. Scroll down past those amulets and you're going to see the enrichment section, and you want the Karmic Enrichment. If you don't have 10 laurels to buy the enrichment, check the Wizard's Vault and see if you have laurels available to buy. This enrichment can only be placed in an amulet of Ascended or Legendary quality. Beginning with Living World Season 3, I'm going to show you the easiest amulets that you can obtain of Ascended quality. From where you zone in Pride of the Pact, you're going to look at your map and find the Unbound Magic icon on the map. What you need to do is exit the ship and just drop all the way down to the ground. Please do so either on a flying mount or with gliding. Don't actually just jump off and fall to your death. Once you've reached the ground, look for Scholar Raka. She's going to have the Unbound Magic icon over her head. When you talk to her, you just need to go through the little dialogue and then you can look at what she has for sale. You'll need 125 blood rubies and 3,000 Unbound Magic. In Lake Doric, you're going to turn right from where you zone in and find Quartermaster Hitchens. She will sell you the Jade Pendant for 125 Jade Shards and 3,000 Unbound Magic. Just as with Bloodstone Fen, if you don't have enough of the currency for Lake Doric, there are going to be other options coming up. Let me know in the comments down below if you'd like me to do a video on how to gather Season 3 currencies. Your last easy option in Living World Season 3 for an Ascended amulet is in Draconis Mons. Just turn right from where you zone in and you'll see the Unbound Magic vendor. Mr. Hanjo will sell you a Fire Orchid Garland for 125 Fire Orchid Blossoms and 3,000 Unbound Magic. I already have an Ascended amulet, but I do have the Experience Enrichment in mind, so I'm buying another one so that I can use the Karmic Enrichment. It is worth having both just because the Experience Enrichment is going to help immensely with Spirit Shard farming. Once you equip the amulet, double click on it and you'll be able to both add the infusion and do your stat selection. Now on to Season 4, and this one is pretty short because there's only one option that's really easy and quick. Port into Dragonfall at the Pack Command waypoint and head south to the Mistwarden Quartermaster. The main difference between the Living World Season 3 and Season 4 amulets is that the Dragonfall one is going to require Volatile Magic instead of Unbound. See the video linked in the card above or in the description below if you need some help farming Volatile Magic. The Scion Spike amulet will require 125 Mistborn motes along with the 3,000 Volatile Magic. Our last section for very easily obtained Ascended amulets is the Icebrood Saga, and we're going to be in Biora Marches. This amulet will require that you have completed the collection called The Hunger. There is a link in the description for those of you who need it on how to complete the Hunger collection, and for those of you who have already completed it, I'm going to show you how to get to the Ruined Hut without going through the cave. If you prefer to take the cave shortcut, you are going into the Aberrant Forest, so just make sure that you're going west. Once you exit the cave, you're going to go to the southwest corner. A small side note while we're on our journey. For those of you who are not aware, you can farm the Eternal Ice Shards here in Biora Marches and use them to exchange for Living World Season 4 currency in case you haven't done the Hunger and you don't care to at the moment. In this case, for the Ascended amulet, you would want to exchange for the Mistborn motes. We're coming up on the entrance to the Aberrant Forest. From here, we just need to go south to the Ruined Hut point of interest. Once you get to the hut, go inside and you will see Bright Shore sitting on the ground. Go through his short dialogue and then you'll be able to look at what he has available for sale. I haven't yet completed the Hunger, but the cost for the amulet is 375 Eternal Ice Shards and 56,000 Karma. For those of you who have completed the Hunger, it should be the first option in his little shop. Next Next up are utility options. The tuning Icicle requires an artificer of level 400, and the ingredients required are 5 piles of crystalline dust and 25 candy canes. Although you do get 5 of these items when you craft them, according to the Black Lion Trading Company, they're not worth crafting because the materials required are worth more if you sell them on the trading post. Next is the Peppermint Oil. This requires a Huntsman at level 400, and the ingredients required are 3 piles of crystalline dust, 20 jugs of water, and 25 candy canes. This one, unfortunately, is also not worth crafting. If you have some saved, though, go ahead and use them. The last of the utilities you can make with Wintersday recipes is the tin of Fruitcake. This one requires a level 400 weaponsmith, and the ingredients are 3 piles of crystalline dust, 1 orichalcum ingot, and 25 candy canes. As of the time of this recording, these are actually worth crafting and selling, although I'm going to be crafting them and eating them myself, but make sure that you check on the prices because they can fluctuate. The best part of this one is that Fruitcake never ever goes bad. Now on to food. These are going to be food items that you can't stack, so you have to pick one. The Super Mix Parfait is going to be your #1 choice because it gives plus 15% karma gain. If you are unable to purchase the pile of powdered gelatin mix, then you probably haven't done the gourmet training collection, so you'll have to do that before you can craft this. You can buy them on the trading post. Right now they're going for 25 silver-ish, I believe, and you can order them for a bit over 20 silver. Before I had finished my gourmet training collection, I actually had a friend make some for me, so that is also an option. If your friends are not all that friendly, and you don't have enough money to buy these off the trading post, don't worry, there are other options. They're just not going to be 15% karma gain. If you're in the middle of gourmet training or you would like to start the collection in order to get it done, you're going to need to complete item number 32 in order to purchase the gelatin mix from the Master Chefs. If you've done the Super Adventure Box and saved up some Bobble Bubbles, but you don't have the Super Mixed Parfait recipe, let me show you where to get it. Yes, once again we are headed down the Hooligans route. The Hooligans need visitors every once in a while. If you already know where to find these Super Adventure Box vendors outside of the festival, go ahead and skip to the next timestamp. There are 2 Super Adventure Box vendors here. You need the Super Adventure Box trader. How appropriate is it that there are 2 raccoons in the Hooligans route? The recipe for the Super Mix Parfait will be the second item in the list, and it's going to cost you 50 silver and 8 Bobble Bubbles. If you need more Bobble Bubbles and you have some baubles saved up, just go to the 3rd tab and convert those into Bobble Bubbles. And now on to the plus 10% karma foods. If you look at the karma page on the Guild Wars 2 wiki, it will give you a list of foods that have karma boosts, and it will give you the percentages for each one. All ascended feasts do give plus 10%, so you can just pick whichever ascended feast you like the most. As you can see, there are a ton of options, and if you don't have the ability to make ascended food, you can always just ask one of your guildies to drop some, or grab it whenever you see it, when somebody's just put some food on the ground. There are 2 foods that you can make from Wintersday recipes. Those are the Peppermint Om Nom Berry Bar and the Tropical Peppermint Cake. I wouldn't recommend eating these either way, and I wouldn't craft them unless you haven't done the Holiday Food Drive achievement. Basically, you would make more money off of selling the materials that are required to make these rather than selling the items themselves. I would only recommend making these if you're trying to get the Holiday Food Drive achievement, which requires feeding the Ho-Ho-Tron. Now for stacking food. This is a short section because there is only one item. The candy cane is a food item that does not give a nourishment effect, so you can actually stack the duration of this food along with your regular food. It gives a 10% karma bonus, and each one that you eat will give you 1 minute. Candy canes have a chance to drop from all of the Wintersday gifts and all of the events during Wintersday. If you don't have a good reason for opening Wintersday gifts aside from getting candy canes, I would recommend buying them from the trading post. As you can see, the drop rate for the candy canes in Wintersday gifts is not great. It's just under 27%. I normally get most of my candy canes from the personalized gifts that I open for the daily, and of course when I'm opening Wintersday gifts because I love gambling, even though it always hurts. If you opt to buy them from the trading post, they are very cheap. During recording they were 38 copper and they've gone up to 39 cents. If you use an alt character for your karma boosts and do everything else on another character, you're definitely going to save a lot of money here. Now for the service option. I'm going to show you how to get the community service tips, which you can get from any of the heart vendors in New Kaineng City. Just complete the heart quest, talk to the NPC, and pay karma in order to get a karma boost. This one lasts for an entire hour, so it really is worth the 1050 karma. The maximum duration is 1 hour, so don't try to stack these. Now for the effect options. If you do the race event or time trial in Divinity's Reach, you will get the crowd favorite racer buff. That gives you an extra 10% of karma gain for 15 minutes. Alternatively, if you have Path of Fire, you can go to the Wishing Well in Domain of Abbey, give it some coins 5 times, and you will get 30 minutes of 10% karma gain. Using the race to refresh the karma gain every 15 minutes is a bit of a bother, but if you don't have another option, it is worth it. Next is the Winter's Blessing item, which you get from the donation drive daily. See the link for my video on Dauntless Donator, which shows you all of the 30 orphan locations in Divinity's Reach. The Winter's Blessing item grants 10% bonus karma for 1 hour. Now I'm going to test out my karma gains. If you're not interested in this part, skip to the next timestamp. Those who stick around, please do take note that I forgot to use the karma booster for the first half hour, so I ended up averaging my karma gains between the first and the second half hour, to be fair. Also, as you probably just saw, there is a karma bonus for the first 3 songs that you play each day. For those of you who haven't done the Bell Choir or haven't gone past the 3 karma bonus songs, there is a set of 6 songs for each game. Once the game is over, it's going to reset the map, and then you're going to have a new game. If you're new to the Bell Choir, I would recommend not taking the middle part. Take the upper or the lower, because the middle part is always the hardest. Also, in regard to your karma boosts, you cannot refresh any of them inside of the Bell Choir instance except for the candy canes. Also, the Amulet Enrichment unfortunately does not apply inside of this instance because it is a PvP instance, because activities are PvP. After 1 hour of the Bell Choir, I gained 141,980 karma. What I would recommend for optimization would be using the Wishing Well instead of the race, having candy canes in your inventory during the Bell Choir, and increasing your account achievement points. Now for the TLDR. Pick one of these items from each plate and they will stack. Crowd Favorite Racer or Wishing Well, Karma Booster, Bonfire or Candy Corn Gobbler, Hero's Banner or Karma Banner, Guild Karma Boost, Candy Cane, Winter's Blessing, Community Service Tips, Karmic Enrichment in your Ascended Amulet, Super Mixed Parfait or other Karma Food, utility enhancements such as the Tin of Fruitcake, Tuning Icicle, or Peppermint Oil, and the Spirit Banner. I hope that your karma woes are over forever.